Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to another installment here this week, and we're at Fire Rescue East 2020, and we're talking to Marie Gumà from BriteLife Recovery, but she's not just affiliated with that organization, she's also a member of the Florida Firefighters Collaborative, which is a very important component of the state where they cover all things from mental health and well-being, which is Marie's specialty. They talk about health and fitness, they talk about various other aspects of the fire service, including cancer prevention, which is huge. But today, more specifically, and we got a lot of this happening around us, we don't realize that even recently we lost a young brother in Marion County, another one in Boynton. We're talking about mental health in the fire service, and that's kind of your specialty. So being a part of the collaborative is very important, and that's something you came into not long after Marjorie Stoneman, the shooting in Parkland.
Actually, before? November of 2017.
Okay.
And the shooting occurred February 14th of 2018.
Okay.
So the clinician response team was already put together, but we got integrated into the fire department very quickly because we did the station visits. We were on site right after the shootings. We were there to support administration. We were there to support the firefighters who had just seen this mass shooting, and also police and the SWAT team. So,
and that was no easy task, I imagine.
Not at all. Not at all. I think emotions were very high for everyone. That was very tough.
So we deal with a lot of very complex issues in our profession nowadays with addiction, PTSD, suicide rates are going up. My understanding is suicide rates almost often double the line of duty deaths we see in our profession. And not having the exact numbers in front of me, I've been through the concepts of how to prevent this in my mind. Where do we start? How do we engage? And one of the things that you've been a part of through the collaborative itself, and we're going to talk about BriteLife in a second, is the clinician trainer program and how valuable that is for our members to be able to engage a clinician who has training to what we do. Because when we go into these offices, EAP or various other offices for help, they don't know how to engage us. So what's the value in that?
The value is huge. I think it's a full circle what needs to occur. It starts with education.
Okay.
Having clinicians that are so involved with first responders that we know the culture, we understand the culture, and we can go and teach so that the first responders are able to understand that their mental health is a physiological process in their body, just like digestion, so that it reduces the stigma so that they go and get the help that they need and go and open up and talk to a therapist. And then for that therapist to have been trained in the culture, understand that if somebody has, if somebody is maybe using sick humor, that therapist is not diagnosing them with like antisocial,
which can happen.
Absolutely.
Because us in our profession, we're rough and tumble, so we say things often that could offend people or scare people away in some cases, when it's really just our way of processing in a sense. So before we end this, I want to talk about BriteLife. And this is your new venture, and I understand you're being able to cultivate a program from your perspective, what you feel first responders need. So what are you going to focus on in BriteLife?
So for 7 years, I've been sending first responders and Coral Springs firefighter that went to treatment and came back and completed suicide 3 days later. Inspired me into looking for somebody to partner with that would create a program that I felt was truly needed, was clinically extremely strong, so that the guys would actually have a chance of recovery, long-lasting recovery, so that they could eventually retire and live a happy, life afterwards as well.
So we're talking about addiction issues, we're talking about depression, PTSD, and it's an inpatient treatment center, right?
So right now it's substance use primary. It is dual diagnosis. We will treat and any psychological symptoms that are
but substance abuse being a 20% reminder. So my understanding is 20% of first responders with depression end up with some form of substance abuse concern or issue. So whether it's alcohol or drugs or various other aspects, pills, which unfortunately exist out there, these are all relative issues that you can help with.
Correct. And it is we're working on our license right now to do the primary mental health as well.
Excellent.
But I think the biggest difference and the biggest differentiator between BriteLife and any other program is that we offer a very intensive clinical program where they're receiving at least 4 individual therapy sessions a week.
Wow, that's intense.
So it is trauma-based, first responder clinicians,
okay,
and or military.
Yes.
So we treat military as well, and the one-on-ones,
okay,
is our differentiator. And we also have a very complete after plan, and they go back. We're hoping they go back with a sponsor, they go back with a meeting, they go back with an intensive outpatient appointment where we have a release so that we can call and find out if they actually went to their appointment, make sure that they continue the hard work that it's going to take for them to recover.
It's a step-by-step. So one of the things we're going to showcase with the next 3 podcasts I do, we're going to interview Marie. We're going to talk more in depth about BriteLife and her work. We're going to talk to Tom Bullhill and his experience. We're also going to talk to Nick Cotsavanos, who is a firefighter, former firefighter from South Florida, now up here in Central Florida. And we're going to meet with Jason Patton as well. So we're really excited. We're going to do a 3-4 part series on mental health awareness because, quite honestly, next to cancer is probably one of the most relevant issues we face today. And we need to be aggressive and on top of it because addiction, while it's an issue, we can treat, we can fix, we can resolve, we can move forward, we can be strong. So I want to thank Marie for helping us today spread the word, and look for the podcast coming up. We're going to sit down today. We're going to get a whole series out on mental health awareness. God bless. Keep your head on a swivel.